We are live, I think.
Live and happy Friday.
Maybe I should have this music like slightly in the background. What do you think of that? You know, there's been a lot of podcasts where they have the music slightly in the background. I'm going to do it and see if anybody notices.
Okay.
It's pretty quiet, but it's there.
Okay.
No comments? No comments.
Not yet. Nobody's here. I just put the announcement out.
Maybe the playing of the music in the background makes things like a little bit more upbeat, or like more stuff going on.
More stuff. We love more stuff.
How's our sound right now? Can you hear us on YouTube?
I don't know. Let me see. Am I muted?
Oh, I can hear
I
it.
don't know. I can't hear it.
I just went to YouTube. I can hear it.
I don't hear it.
We have one person watching right now.
That's me.
Huh. We have two watchers. Oh, we have two people. One of them's me. So you're the other one. We're the only two people watching your own channel.
Well, we missed 2 weeks. People have to get back in the ability to remember to come see us.
Well, didn't we have something just a few days ago?
Yeah, we did, but I'm talking regular Friday.
Magipto says that the music in the background will cover up all the chewing and the vaping.
Wow.
Because I chew gum, apparently people can hear that.
Yikes.
So that intro is done by a group called Animattronic. Apparently there's some New Zealand band, techno band.
There's nothing wrong with my vaping, Magipto.
Is that your vaping box or your vaping can that you vape?
No, I was just sucking down some of my cocktail. These mics are like ridiculously sensitive. I like it though. That's why I paid a premium. I wanted a good one.
What'd you get?
I know, Magipto. I know.
What's your brand?
I have the HyperX. It is a fantastic piece of equipment. It's about the same as the Yeti. I think it was like $20 more than the Yeti. And when my Yeti broke, I got this one, and I will never go back. Man, this thing is nice.
And I have a Yeti, and my Yeti did not break.
Yeah, well, I was unplugging it all the time, and it used that old USB-B, and the damn thing broke off in there, and I couldn't get it back in. I sent it back for repair, and they couldn't repair it, so they sent me a replacement. Well, it took them like 6 weeks to do that, and in the meantime, I went out and bought this HyperX, and man, is it nice.
All right, so we got some things to talk about. Trolls, GYRI, and scams. Oh my. Not that trolls and GYRI are scams, but that's what the clickbaity title was trying to cause you to think. And if you're listening right now, then you've been duped.
They're duped every time they come here. We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
I can see you have smoke everywhere in your office now. Because I can see you.
Right.
Just other people can't.
Right? That's your fault. I think we need to go side by side, full on.
I need more subscribers for that. I laid down my requirement.
I remember.
Subscribers.
I remember.
I don't want 2 people making fun of me. I want 2,000 at least.
Well, maybe it's like chicken and the egg. Maybe 2,000 will show up if you actually jump on the video.
No, it doesn't work like that. I ain't gonna give my goods till I get my goods. I'm using this to actually get more viewers.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to. We're down 1 this week, if you didn't notice. Somebody got mad at us and left.
Probably your fault. They all like me. They come for the Faz, they stay for the Titan.
Oh my. All right. So where should we start? What's your favorite of the three?
Well, I listed some more zip bugs.
What kind?
Well, these are my chroma bugs, which are the really far out ones that I do. That's if you go to OpenSea Art Faz, you will see my new bugs, or you can look up chroma bugs on OpenSea. I have 452 of them.
So are these new ones, or did you just post ones that you had made before?
Before I post them as I make them, man.
Okay, well, that's what I'm asking, because you tend to evolve them, and every new iteration keeps getting better. So I didn't know if you just posted some you hadn't posted from before, or if you made some new iterations.
I still have some original zip bugs that have never seen the light of day because I just got really interested in playing with these new tools. Also, I've been making some physical NFT thingamabobbers that I will be sending to only zipbug owners. And I put a little clue as to what I'm doing on the CFA Discord. But I'm doing some really neat stuff with the physical zipbug stuff as a first attempt. So this first attempt will be free, and then eventually I plan to sell the physical stuff.
Yeah, I saw you posted that. Those look really good. I haven't made any in a while. I probably got 1 million credits sitting on Night Cafe by now.
Well,
it's been a while.
All mine start out as drawings, and then I pull them into Inkscape. Then I usually kind of set it up to where they can bias the AI. And then I start telling the AI what I want things to look like. And then I get something back, and I'm like, I can work with that. And then I might mess with that in Photoshop a little bit, and then out the door it goes. So it's there's many points that I mess with them. All right, so we have Trolls. What about this Trolls drop? People have been talking a lot about this Trolls Vox drop from Gala Games.
Yes, we have another very overly, but not necessarily complicated drop coming for these new Vox.
People seem to be bitching already. I mean, in fact, if there's a Vox drop now, people just have to bitch, no matter what it is.
Well, I was watching. There was a huge exchange over on the Gala server in Gold. I want to say it was like last night. And Bitbender had enough. He started dropping the ban hammer because of the complaints. I mean, the guy just gets home from a world tour.
He lost all of his fucks. He lost all of his fucks, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that was about the way it worked. There was this guy in there. He was shit talking something fierce, and they let it go farther than I thought it would. And finally, Bitbender's like, "Yeet."
Yeet. Oh, I'm looking at this is. Oh, I see a conversation happening today in Gold.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
you and some
people. All right, so yeah, so I had a good conversation there. And it's not Gold. That's the other one.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I can't tell you about that one.
So I almost posted this, but then I didn't want to inflame. So I'll just say it here instead. Have you noticed, because I've noticed this, whenever they start throwing up the hype and the FOMO like this around a drop, is when you see the most people coming out of the woodwork and being complete asshats. Am I the only one that notices that?
Whenever they what now?
They throw the hype and the FOMO like they do about this Trolls drop. Everybody's amped up and all the emotions run super hot.
Some sort of all hands on deck, dropping little tidbits.
Oh my God. Yeah, I threw that over to you that night. I think it was like Wednesday night. Every green name, even Jesse was in there. Everybody was all in there at once, and they were playing off each other, running through, dangling, little bits
Jesse.
of this, that,
I
and the
haven't
other.
seen Jesse in the Gala Discord lately, so I guess for him to come back, I bet he was told to. It's like, get off your ass, get in there, and start dropping bombs.
Jesse's got a staff now. He doesn't need to work anymore. Are you kidding me? He's a boss. He just points now. Do that. Do it right the first time. No, I'll tell you what. Jesse has chilled out quite a bit. I've been pretty impressed. He doesn't get overly emotional like he used to. He goes in. He has great conversations. I think it's been great.
Good. Okay.
So these trolls. Yeah, I know. We get off. You and me haven't talked much because you've been out of town, and then with all the other stuff you've had going on.
I had my public service announcement going on. That turned out all right in the end.
Yeah.
No Fazes were hurt.
Yeah, you didn't have any. They didn't find any zip bugs in there, did they?
No zip bugs were found at all.
So, I am completely torn on this troll thing. All right. I've got the money ready if I decide to pull the trigger. But they're going to have to, I think, do better with what they're offering for the price that they're asking.
Isn't that price public? What's the Gala Games?
It is. It is. It's on the Medium article.
The Medium has all the tiers.
Yes, it does.
So the first tier is if you've had one of each of the past 3 sets. If this is public.
It is.
If you have one of each, it's like 0.666 ETH.
Post the link. Do you know where it is?
I'm looking.
I had it up a little bit ago.
Hold on.
Now I can't find it, of course.
Blog Gala Games. I have this page up, and I see Flea, Spider Tank Showcase Flea, but I don't see anything about the...
Here it is. I got it.
You the man.
Except,
Send it to me over Discord.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't post because the host is a control freak and doesn't let anybody do anything.
Somebody is just butthurt about the fact that they're not running Faz Radio.
I don't care about running it. I just want to be able to post. All right, hang on. There you go.
Get your trolls early. Okay, Medium. Post this right here. We'll spam it out to Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter all at once.
All right, so here's the thing. And this was kind of the consensus. There were a couple of people that posted very similar posts that mention, you know what, if there were some guaranteed things in there for the price of 0.888 ETH, okay, sure, no problem. But everything's just like, oh, a whitelist to this, a chance for land, a chance for this, a chance for that. And
some sort of hoodie, right? Like, wow.
Yeah, no, you get, no, not the chance.
$1,000 on a troll. I want a fucking hoodie, man.
No, you don't get a hoodie. That is the opportunity to buy one.
Oh.
Because there's, quote, limited edition. So you get the opportunity to buy one. How much you want to bet it's like $250 in town coin only?
They're gonna find a way to spend all that town coin that you have.
All right, so I'm being a little sarcastic, being a little pokey the bearish. But here's the thing, right? So there were some discussions.
I'm gonna share my screen.
That a bunch of us had in private conversations that, you know, it's they and we talked with Vera about this even when she was on. The price with the market the way it is today, regardless of IP or anything, has to be reasonable for what you're getting. And if they were going to stuff that box with a bunch of guaranteed things, and they don't have to be specific, right? You can say you're guaranteed a Voxverse land, even if it's a common. You're guaranteed a future coupon for whatever. All right, but you're not, right? So I was seriously expecting these things to come out at 0.4. If they would have come out at 0.4, I'd be sitting here today saying, I'm all in, I'm going to go grab one. But I don't think I am at 0.888. Sorry.
I got to remove you from the cast here. Or remove your picture.
Oh, look at that. I'm broadcasting. Here, I can turn my camera off.
Yeah, we don't want to see you smoking in your office there. There you go. Up, he's gone. He is totally gone. It says device not connected. I wonder if I should kick him. Or if he can go back in. I think he just discovered. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
There you are. Wow.
So,
your microphone is totally different now.
Is it?
Maybe you should get closer to it.
No, I didn't do anything. I think
you're fine now.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm rambling around. So 0.888 is roughly $1,000 at this point, right? And all this is a character to play a game with, and nothing else. So we don't even know what they're going to do in that game. We don't know if there's an advantage to having one Vox over another. Is this a special Vox? Okay, if it is, what does it do? How does it help me earn more Vox coin? Nobody knows anything, of course. So I can't justify that 0.888. Sorry.
Can I full screen this? I think that's F11, isn't it? There we go.
Yes, F11 makes it big.
So I found this one interesting because they said, okay, tier 1, if you have one of the first three, or if you have each of the first three Vox, or I believe, isn't it, or you have you're a nice guy and you gave back some of those free Voxes that was given out.
Correct. I do.
I think that could be a thing. And if it is a thing, I want an NFT for my Good Samaritan-ness rather than.
Well, wait. So here's the thing. Here's the shitty part of that. Because I've always got to play that guy, right? So if you were to go out and buy those Walking Dead people, right? The Vox for that, and put it in there to whitelist yourself for a 0.22 discount. So what that tells me is that they're going to make that 0.888 anyway, because the creator fee on you going out and buying those two other Vox is going to equal the 0.888 anyway. So they're not losing any money by offering that part. As far as returning all those extra Vox, that was, I think, worth way more than 0.22.
Well, no, okay, first of all, that was I think they should keep that going. If you're a Good Samaritan, that should be a permanent kind of thing. Or you could even say, okay, maybe it's a one-time thing. But I'd like it to be an NFT that maybe you'd have to burn. But of course, that's more work.
Kind of like the vials. We saw how well that went.
Well, the only way I think they can tell you're a Good Samaritan would be if you are connected to Coinbase NFT, which is where these will be sold, on your Gala Games account. I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to connect my Gala Games account to MetaMask because I don't want it to get hacked.
Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. Now, I am happy that they're using Coinbase NFT. I think that's way better than like pre-mint, which they did last time, which ended up having issues after they did their drop. Somebody else's mint got hacked right after we did the last one there. But I think that's a great way to go in and help ensure the security, right? Coinbase, I'm assuming, has way better security than some of these other places. So I am very happy they went that route with that. This one might go off without a hitch.
Okay, so tier 2, Gala and Vox OGs. If you have any of the 3 boxes, okay. First of all, the original holders here, pre-sale is available from October 10th. Thank you. From October 10th to October 11th, and they'll be cheaper. And then the next one is if you have any, or if you have a Vox Soul, or if you're a Founders Node. I kind of feel like they need more than 2 tiers here.
Oh, wait. I didn't see that the last time. Gala Gold. Anybody who's gold can be in that.
What's Blue Realm? Is that orb shit?
Yeah, that's the Vox. Or no, that's the 888 guy.
What
is that? Inner Circle. That's it.
Yeah, 888 was the NFT looking for a purpose, wasn't it?
Yes. That was that infinite
We don't know what this
thing.
is, but we don't know what this is, but this will be worth something in the future. Just you wait and see. And then
They're
6
trying to
months go by.
resurrect that. They're doing a push with a bunch of that. There's trying to get some of that off the Thune list, I think. And there's been some resurrection on the talks around that Blue Realm.
So
This is the first time I've seen Gala Gold get included in a tier with Founders nodes. That's interesting to me. They really want to make sure these sell out.
That kind of sucks that it's the same tier as Gala nodes, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the first time I've seen them together. They want to make sure this sells out. I think it's going to look really bad if they don't sell out with this big of a partnership with DreamWorks.
Well, I think there should have been a tier 3 with Gala Gold, and then tier 4 would be everyone else.
I agree with you. I'm not going to argue that. Just as I said it, T3R0 said it's to encourage sales. Yeah, of course. So I get that. I'm hoping they do sell out for Gala's sake. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think 2 things are going to happen. Here's my guess. I think that they will either sell out. I don't think it'll be instant. I think it'll be a slow sellout over the course of, a couple of days.
Hey, Eric might just buy up all the remaining ones. You never know.
Well, wait. After it gets to the public, I don't think it sells out till it gets to public. Okay. Yes, there will be people who will use multiple wallets and get the 8 max and rack it up. I don't know if they're going to put. I haven't seen anything where they're going to put a limit on how much each tier can buy. But I think those boxes will go for a premium, and on the secondary market. I also think, though, that you will be able, if you're just interested in the Vox itself, I think after the boxes are open, you'll be able to get just a Vox for somewhere around 0.4 Ethereum. Right around the holidays after the boxes are open and people check to see if they got land and they get all the other goodies out of it, and they'll just, if they get a Vox they don't like, I think the market will pull it back down to around 0.4.
I was just going to buy one because I have one of at least one of the other 3. So, because apparently it means something if you have one of each now.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And I bought some Townstar ones because if you're an original, if you're an OG, if you're a Townstar or if you're an OG Vox owner, that means something.
So the other part of this I thought was pretty genius on their part is putting the 2 contests with the 2 types of the Walking Dead Vox, because that didn't sell very well. So by stimulating that secondary market, they're going to collect some fees off of that, the creator fees, and they're going to get more Vox into wallets, and it's also going to pump the volume of Vox, which will help them as well as they get exposure to all these Coinbase people. It would not surprise me if they pay Coinbase to market this on the Coinbase platform, to do some kind of commercial on Coinbase to the Coinbase people about it. That would not surprise me at all.
Coinbase NFT seems to be rather vacant at the moment.
Yeah, I did connect a wallet over there just to see what it was all about. And it does look very, very, very thin with offerings. Maybe you can get your zip bugs on there.
You can already, well, it just reads what's in the wallet, so my zip bugs are technically on there already.
No, but I mean, do like a collection there, like you do on OpenSea.
Oh yeah. Maybe if
I don't know what their rules are. Yeah, I don't know what their rules are. I didn't read that far into it. I just poked around so that if I did decide to buy one, I knew what the hell I was doing. I doubt it. Unless they come out early. They might come out right before the presale or the day of the presale, just to ensure, because the comments on Gold and in some of the other channels is not very warm reception towards this. They may get desperate and say, okay, we'll guarantee you something. But their hype of, oh, you're not going to want to miss this one. Yeah, we learned that with the Snoop box. We learned that with a couple other drops. Nobody's buying that anymore. Unless they're going to name it, people aren't going to buy into it, I don't think.
Well, the last I heard about you don't want to miss this one is those Mirandus exemplars. Remember that?
I remember that one, but the famous one was the Snoop boxes, and they pooched that one big time.
They pooched it.
Yeah, they did. Because remember, you and I argued about that, the lifetime of benefits, which turned out to be just a whitelist.
Ah.
Yeah, and Benefactor was cruising around Discord at that time. And one of the it was a woman. She was like really active for a long time, and then she like disappeared. But she had asked, well, I have enough either for a Galaverse ticket or a Snoop box. Which one would you buy? And Benefactor answered her and said, oh, I'd absolutely get the Snoop box.
Because Snoop box is happening sooner, probably.
Yeah, well, everybody, as we know, was really butthurt by what came out of that Snoop box. And so, they did all right. They came back and they made it worth it. All right. They took care of the people. But those two events have caused people to really not buy into we can't talk about it, but you're going to love it. It'll be worth it. Nobody's buying that anymore.
I would think that there should be more advertisement for this than we've seen so far.
Well, you answered that when I asked it on the other show we did, and said, I wouldn't worry about it. They don't need that yet. It's not live.
I'm just throwing in the other angle. I'm happy to go that angle too.
Well, I think there's enough people on the platform before it goes public that most of them will be sold before it goes public. I think that was the math you were talking about. T3R0 just put in there. They think it's 2 max per wallet, but Series 2 though, I thought they said it was 8. You could get up to 8. Yeah, 8 Vox per person. Again, per person, meaning per address. And there's going to be several whales, I'm sure, that have 6 different wallet addresses, especially connecting to Coinbase, which can be basically any wallet address.
If you're a whale, you'd be paying 666, not 888.
Well, don't forget, most of the whales referred themselves for nodes. So they've collected nodes in probably 10 or 12 different wallets. So they'll qualify for that tier 2 to pick up 8 apiece. So one person could get 50 if they wanted them.
So what's this GYRI stuff you have? You wanted to talk about this before we went on the air, and I said, "Shut up! Don't say anything. Talk about it on Faz Radio." We're talking about GYRI.
Well, I was fortunate. I got out of my wonderful day job right when that started, so I popped in my buds on the way home, and Bitbender did an AMA with some of the GYRI people.
Oh yeah,
the devs there. And it was one of the better AMAs I've seen them do in recent history. I was pretty impressed with the content and the forthcomingness of Jason on how he approached talking about it with the group. He's becoming, I think this tour has really helped him, this world tour, being more comfortable, being able to talk about things without having to pause and think about carefully what he's saying to make sure he's not saying the wrong thing. So overall, it was a positive thing, but a lot of people, of course, they buy into it. See, this, I got a problem with this, and I used to be this way until the almighty Faz educated me.
Woohoo!
You get half the story, and then you think everything is a big pile of shit and a scam, right? So I've overcome that with my education at CFA, and I understand the bigger picture. Now, here's the thing. They're terrible at execution. But their vision, I see their vision now, and I see why they do things the way they do. It's called having the why behind the why explained. And I just mentioned this to you the other night when you and I were offline. When you learn the why behind the why, everything makes much more sense. It's way clearer, and I don't panic anymore. So I understand a different side of things now. So I'm willing to not go off the handle when things go sideways as much. Okay. The best way to describe what they were talking about, and this is what I was talking with the Figaro about in that special place. Think of the way that they're laying this out as turning on light switches, right? So these nodes and this ecosystem is nothing more than a series of boxes with on and off switches. And each of those boxes that you get yourself access to, whether it's a town node or a founders node or a spider tank node, you can assign workloads for those on the platform that they're putting together with GYRI, right? And what this is going to be is you'll have total control over what light switches you turn on and which you turn off. And your system requirements and what level you'll need to provide that work for will depend on what and how many light switches you turn on. So that $5, Contabo VPS is not going to work if you have 4 different types of nodes. All right. It's just not. You're going to have to either upgrade that VPS to something much more robust. You're going to have business class home internet if you're going to run it on rigs at home. It's going to be a much bigger thing coming up. The big takeaway on that is Node version 3 is about ready to come out. You can actually, if you want to take that bleeding edge dive, you can download today, if you go to the Node Owners channel in the Gala server, you can download version 3 and give it a whirl. And there will be more work involved on that one. They do need some testers, but they need people who aren't going to cry like a baby if things break often and quickly. So they have a pretty solid foundation. The gent who is heading up GYRI right now was saying they've totally rewritten the code. All right. And it's compatible now with ARM. So people with Macs and who run the new M1 Apple chips can partake in this now. You can run it on Linux. You can run it on Windows. You can
Linux?
basically...
Linux? That means you can run on Frigidaire too, or Maytag?
You know what? You can make fun of me all you want. The GYRI gent called it Linux as well, so hush it. You are a Linux snob. But
That's
really,
Linux.
it's Linux, whatever. It
Linux. Yep.
I still can't say obfuscate too. I can't do it. So I think these are some really big things, and everybody's freaking out, of course, about the founders node aspect, both that GYRI node slant chain slant whatever is above founders nodes, and that shouldn't be that way, and they keep thinking founders nodes are going to go away because, again, they're only half learning what they need to be learning. If you're going to be in this ecosystem and owning nodes especially, you got to know what the hell you're doing. You have to educate yourself, because otherwise you're going to be in a world of hurt. You're going to cause yourself stress and anxiety you don't need.
Wow, look at the brain on Brad. Good job. I knew that you'd get it eventually. By the way, extra free zip bug to the first person who tells me where "look at the brain on Brad" came from.
The hell are you talking about?
Nothing, man. Anyway, go ahead.
I was busy running my yip. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, I missed something.
Anyway, I was just commenting on how smart you were, and I'm very, very pleased that you're internalizing stuff from the Faz curriculum. You might be our first graduate.
So I would hope so, being the dean and all. So listen, it took me a very long time, as you know, to get to the point that I'm at. And it took a couple of extra little tweaks, and I think you know what I'm talking about, for me to get to that point. I think what the advice that I will give to the community who's listening is that if you allow yourself to be educated instead of becoming emotional, and if you start asking the right questions, and if you start talking to the right people, I think you'll find yourself in a better place. I am still not a fanboy. I will still criticize them when they do stupid shit. But I can tell you that once you get the education, you look at things way differently. Magipto, you're right. Yep.
You got it. All right.
That's right.
I was going to play a clip and everything, but now Magipto had ruined it. I guess he gets a zip bug now.
I would. Magipto's a hell of a good guy.
Yep. That's a great movie.
I love Pulp Fiction.
I do have another announcement, though. So I got a new puppy, or our family got a new puppy yesterday. We have named it Crypto. Let's see if I can share the screen. That's Crypto with a K, by the way. I don't want you thinking the wrong Crypto. I'm thinking Crypto named after Superman's dog. All right? Get your brain out of the gutter. Hold on. How do I share this screen? Oops. Didn't mean to do that.
While you're fiddling with that, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. So, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, all the people at work that I've hired over the last 3 years have been female. For some reason, men don't apply for the jobs. Oh, that's a good picture of that pup.
Yeah, that's him at the rescue shelter we got. That's a rescue turtle in the background that's really fucking large. He looks smaller there because he's further away, but he's actually pretty big. Anyway, go ahead with your story. Don't let me interrupt.
Oh no! So I learned something new from people all the time, and our newest member of the warehouse crew is a woman in her mid-20s, and she had this fanny pack, and she uses it instead of a purse. And I said, "Oh." I said, man, I haven't seen those in a long time. I said, usually it's old men like me that walk around with fanny packs. And she goes on and gives me this whole like education in fanny packs. And did you know that in Europe, fanny does not mean butt like it means here? Did you know that?
Nope. What's it mean?
It's another word for the front end of a female over there, which is why they wear them in the front.
Oh, jeez.
I said, get out of here. You're pulling my leg. She says, no, I'm dead serious. And of course I looked it up and she's right. I found that interesting. You learn something new every day.
So that makes it okay to wear a fanny pack? So you can.
No, I was just trying to fill time while you.
As you can imagine yourself a girl. You know, if you wear the women's underwear, that must mean that you should just let everyone know what you're really thinking.
You know, you love to tell everybody about Uncle Titan's stories. I was trying to help you out while you fucked around trying to get that. Yeah. While you were trying to get your picture up, I tried helping you out, and this is what I get.
Photos and Titan stories.
I am nothing but nice, and you just constantly put me down.
I just like to make fun of you. That's all. There we go. Here's my other screen. It's a new screen I made.
I like that one. I hope we don't have any more technical difficulties. That was getting ridiculous. You got to figure out why your shit won't run OBS.
Yeah. So, is GYRI any further from what you heard on this podcast, AMA, whatever it was?
Yeah, they're real confident it's going to turn out okay, and I don't think they would say that if they didn't mean it. Okay,
Doc would have a bone to pick with you by saying, "Ha,
yeah?
You believe them, huh? You believe them? They're fucking slave. You're a fucking slave, all of you."
Well, I'll tell you, they threw some compliments out for someone named Derek. And I don't know who that was, but they were saying that this person put them in a great position to be successful with GYRI Chain. And it's turning into something pretty cool. Now, we hear the hype all the time. Maybe they're just full of it. I don't know. But they're very confident. They seem very confident that it's going to turn out just great. Now, what I did gather...
We have a problem. Sorry to interrupt you. At the very same time that Magipto said Pulp Fiction was set at 7:05 p.m. PST, Stollenbread on that's German. Stollenbread on has posted in Faz Radio chat at the same time at 7:05 p.m. Pulp Fiction. So now the question is, how do we choose between the two?
Wow.
Just keep that in the back of your brain. We'll revisit that. He says, "Hey, it's me." He says he posted first, but I can't tell. I mean, I wasn't watching both these channels at the same time. So we're going to have to come up with a secondary question to determine who wins between the two of those, I think. Stollenbread is typing. Did I make him mad?
Yeah, I see that. No, we don't make people mad, or at least we try not to.
So I'm sorry, I interrupted your story.
It's me. I'm fucking famous. Yes, we are really live here, Stollenbread.
Mm-hmm. Is it supposed to be stolen as in you stole my bread? Or Stollenbread as in, a nice German, like, bready kind of dish? I don't even know what stolen means, but I know how to say it.
The H is silent.
The H is bready dish. There we go. think I might have gotten that right. That's from my ninth grade German class, fellows.
So I do want to make another. I do want to make another Uncle Titan story time real quick because I found this interesting. So we had a vendor come in, right? A trucking company. They want to run our goods, right? And so this woman has been pestering me on LinkedIn for probably 4 years, right? To come see us. So I was in a good mood, basically meaning I was drunk one night here at home on the weekend, and I messaged her back. I'm like, all right, look, you're persistent. Shoot your shot. And so she pitches me. She comes in, and we get to yipping, and it turns out we ended up talking about Faz Radio and crypto. And here,
now you know why I named my dog Crypto.
Well, so wait, this gets really good. Never would have guessed it from her, right? She works for a trucking company trying to get people to use her service as a third party, to get things from A to B. And she's like, oh, yeah. She goes, I didn't have to heat my house for the last 2 years because I have several sets of miners in my basement. I've been mining for years.
Isn't that illegal? Can you get put in jail for that?
She mines.
Never mind.
No, not like that, you goof. She does several coins, including Ethereum, and now she's like, well, my house can't be heated this winter because of the stupid changes to Ethereum. So I was laughing, but totally. Listen, so like out of nowhere, you've got people mining in their basement for years. Yeah, I think. See, you read the stats. Like 30% of people know about crypto, and only 15% of them actually do it. All the closet people who mine in their basement, I'm telling you what. I'm really telling you what. I think it's way higher than that. Because I run into people like this all the time.
Okay. I did interrupt the story of yours. You were telling a story, but I think we forgot what we were talking about because I did that to you. Sorry about that.
We haven't had a good Friday night Faz Radio in like 3 weeks now, so I'm full of just running at the yip over here.
Magipto says, send one to Stolenbread. So that was very nice of you, Magipto, because he won one. If he doesn't have one, though. If he is, let's see, Stolenbread's a student. You need to DM me right now, Mr. Stolenbread, and get your student bug. Well, you need to get your student bug. He's typing to me here as well. So you'll be getting 2. So just DM me, and then you'll have to DM me your wallet address. Anyway, it'll probably be a chroma bug. I love those chroma bugs. They're
those are, and I'll tell you what, I hate your bag bugs with a passion. I love so many of your bugs. I do love them, but I hate the bags. But the chroma bags, I do enjoy a few of those.
The chroma bags.
Yeah, there's a couple that I do like.
The chroma bugs, like I said, I can get the AI on it, and I could say, hey, take this bug and render it like, I don't know, old Roman tile. It'll just bang. It'll do it. Like half the time it gets it wrong, so I have to kind of choose. But that's what I do with a lot of the chroma bugs. I get the AI in there and see how it can fix things. And it comes up with some neat shit sometimes. But I like to keep it pretty much looking like the bug. So you could say I use it more as a filter than doing what the AI wants.
Speaking of fixing things, we wanted to talk a little about some scams.
Oh yeah, that's the scams part of this. You're moving this cast along pretty fast.
Well, we do a lot of bullshitting, and if we get like all the topics that we want to talk about out of the way, then if we just bullshit, we bullshit, right? But I bumped into an article that was written by a VC gentleman that talks about. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm mixing up two. The first one I posted was a gentleman who's very, very smart named Jameson Lopp, Mr. Lopp, who's a Bitcoin maxi, very smart guy, reposted another really smart guy who broke down what he believes is a total scam with Hexcoin. And we've had a few people that have come into CFA talking about Hex. And I had never really gone that deep into it. I mean, I looked at it and I saw it and I'm like, yeah, this isn't my kind of thing. So I never got into it. But I read this article, and the article, I posted it in the news channel on CFA. This guy breaks it down beautifully about the why behind the why on how sophisticated this long scam really is. I mean, if people that smart would actually create good, solid platforms in this space, we'd be light years ahead of, I think, where we even are now. The ability to stake I don't know, they call it something else. They compare it to like a certificate of deposit. You got to put this Hex and lock it up. And the longer you lock it up, the higher the interest rate is. And really what that does is it does two things. Number one, it puts buy pressure on. It holds the inflation to a minimum by putting these tokens and locking them up. But then as they unlock, they create liquidity for the new people coming in, which creates more buy pressure. I mean, it's evil genius the way that works. And apparently there's like this little trigger in there too, to where you have you lock up your Hex for like a year, right? If you don't claim it within this 2-week period, when it comes due, your quote CD comes due, you lose your tokens, I guess. And 50% of that loss goes straight into the creator's wallet. Is that messed up, or is that messed up?
That's funny. Most people aren't going to have the time to keep up with that kind of shit.
That's what they're banking on, I think. So, again, I'm only going by what this article asserts. I have not done a deep dive on this, but I read through the article. Because we're in crypto winter, I think a CFA warning should go out, and I wish I had one of those sound buttons I could push that does like the nuclear sound or something. People right now are desperate for anything to make money with, because most people, like myself included, are down about 90% from last November's highs. Please do not jump into lottery tickets like that and scams, and you've really got to do your research before getting into anything right now. I understand we all want to find a way to make some money, but please be very, very careful. There are people out there that will just fleece you for everything you got. Take it easy.
Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. Then what do you think about all that regulation?
Ooh, I like that one. Wait, stop. I like that one. Yeah, that's the one.
Should I send that one? I don't think I should.
No, don't send that one. I'll buy that one. Yeah, I'll buy that one. Yeah, leave that there. I'm going to buy that one.
This one here is actually my favorite of my latest ones.
I like the colors in that one.
This is a new bug I made. But what I did is I took it into Inkscape and just colored the eyes and then colored the background. And it's like, okay, let's see what this does. And of course I had the red and blue. These actually, if you look these up on the ZipBug page, let's see if I can find it here. ZipBugs. If you look him up, you'll see what originally it came from. if OpenSea would even load. Sometimes OpenSea works, and other times it. See.
Well, you don't have 74 tabs open at one time now. I don't know why it's running so slow for you.
I don't know. Well, these are the windows that you can see. Okay, so it actually came from this guy right here. You'll notice a lot of similarities between, say, this guy. Let's see if I could. So we see the red eyes, the blue. It kind of took the background and stuff like that. Some of these things, like I said, I'll take them into Inkscape and I'll highlight certain parts or whatever, and then it depends on the words you type too, and then I think I told it like robotic machine or something, and it took this and like, okay, let's do that version of it. So this is technically the original. You're always going to have a zip bug for any chroma bug, and then it make 50 god million different variations of the chroma bugs based upon different things that the AI can do to them. Like this one, this is the same one.
Interesting.
So anyway, I interrupted you there too.
No, I interrupted you right back. You were
Okay,
asking for my thoughts on something.
My son calls this one the porta potty bug.
It kind of does. Kind of does look like it.
This one is actually not AI. This one I wound up using an 8-bit tool to make it look more 8-bit. This is actually the original bag bug, but he looks so different by this point that I just
Hey,
do
Crypto Talk, how you doing?
Crypto Talk Now VR. What up?
Entertainment only.
What is that? What does that mean?
I don't know. They're probably in here listening to our banter.
Getting ideas.
All right, go ahead. What were you saying now? What are my thoughts on what?
Oh, I forget. What were you talking about?
Well, hey, welcome, Crypto Talk. Thanks for being here.
I forgot what I was talking about because then I went into the zip bugs here.
Regulation. You said something about regulation. Whoa, that's kind of cool.
Oh, so regulation. There's Crypto Talk Now VR. Here's a plug for you. So there are a lot of easy ways for people to get scammed in crypto. A lot of easy ways, and so the SEC does have a point when it says it wants to regulate it. Personally, I don't think the SEC should, because that adds in a whole bunch of extra rules. But it is becoming obvious that somebody needs to kind of watch things.
So you're really poking the bear here, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
All right, so I am one who I'm not a lot for regulation.
Everything you just be aware that everything you do that's worth any amount of money is regulated. If you fly, if you drive, if you have a baby, if you treat a wound, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Quant and XRP. Damn right. ISO 20022 compliant. I agree. Anyway, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I think the communities should be regulating themselves first and foremost. And there's going to be bad actors no matter what industry you're in.
How does a community regulate itself? We promise we won't hurt anybody. Oh shit, we did. Now what? Well, we're all going to ban each other.
I do believe it's on each person to do their own research, to do their own. All right, so I believe you should have the freedom to buy into anything that you want, right? So we just talked about Hex and the article that we put up. If you want to buy Hex, I believe you should have the right to go buy Hex. However, if you get wrecked with that, that's on you for getting into it. And I don't think that my experience with the crypto space should be throttled because people do things that get them wrecked. I do my own research, and if I get wrecked, it's on me. If like you always poke at me about Black Eye Galaxy, right? So you're right. I missed on that one. I did my research. I doxed everybody. I looked at the project. They were making progress. It looked fantastic, and we all got rugged. But it happens, and I didn't overexpose myself. I didn't put more in it than I could afford to lose. And I did the research, and they did a very good job. I think they were a legitimate project. I just think they ran out of... I think they kind of painted themselves into a corner.
They darn
and then
up.
Yeah, and they said, whoops, we're not going to be able to get out of this one easy, so they just kind of closed shop and moved on. So that's on me. That's my fault. I lost money. Okay, but I don't think we need to call in Uncle Gary to regulate the entire space because I made a poor choice.
Well, wait a minute. What if they were Gala Games? Not going to name names here, but what if they were Gala Games and Gala Games made all these promises, and then they didn't fulfill them yet, and they caused you to buy a bunch of things because you thought that they were going to do something. Now they never said no that they're not going to do it yet, but they still haven't done it. So they caused you to think something, and then you spent money. Is that cool?
That is a lot to unpack because, as a wise man once told me, context matters, right?
Oh, well, I was using the generic concept on purpose. That means
right.
You can take any context you want and put it in.
Yeah.
Let's not say the specific context doesn't have to matter. Is there any context in which you can tell somebody that you're planning to do something and then not after you've bought something? Is that bad?
I think I wouldn't say it's bad. What I would say is it's morally incorrect to do that. Yes.
Morally? So
yeah.
there are laws out there right now in the United States that say if you have falsely advertised something, that you're on the hook.
Right. So again, here's the thing, right? And I'm glad you brought this up because I will put my context into this by saying, okay, let's say you brought the example of Gala Games up and they made a promise and they changed their mind later. That's called a learning lesson. So the next time that a sale or something comes up like that, you vote with your wallet, which is what even they profess. Jason said it, Carrie said it, several people have said it. You sit out that if you don't believe that they're going to come through with the promises that they're making. It's up to Gala to fulfill those promises. And if they don't do it over time, there's not going to be anybody left to buy anything. So really all they're doing is screwing themselves in the long term by not fulfilling those promises. And unfortunately, the people who keep buying in when promises aren't fulfilled, that's on them, right? But at the same time, your words yet, right? So let's see what they do. We can't have... They unfortunately, they got themselves into a pickle because the Thune list is ridiculously long, right? If they were to take and start chipping away at that Thune list and solved more of the Thune list faster than they created more Thune items, that would be a win. But are they doing that?
So it's worth mentioning that if you're going to say something and you haven't done it, that's false advertising. However, if you're in the process of doing it and you can demonstrate that you're in the process of doing it, that's not false advertising. I believe there's a little bit of a burden of truth, but a burden of proof. But you basically need to show that you're working along those lines. Okay, Gala's meeting those. They're getting through their Thune list. It's just slow, and they're doing a lot of things. The question in any court case would be, how long is too long? And I don't know the answer to that. So I was making a point there because people have complained about Gala saying something, they buy something, and then, well, what Gala really does is they say part of something, you buy it, and then they kind of change the plan, even though they never really filled it out completely. They said, hey, buy these, I don't know, what's-its. They're going to be valuable. You're going to be using them to earn on here and stuff like that. And then maybe later you find out you're not going to earn with it.
Well, no.
And then they'll come back and they'll say, well, you're going to earn a reward. It just happens to be a once a year kind of thank you kind of reward.
Yeah,
and then they say, we never promised what you would earn.
Yeah, and I've mentioned that before. Earning doesn't necessarily mean money, right? And just like the prime example of that, you just got to sort through the marketing speak, right? So the prime example of that is that Snoop box where they advertised right in print a lifetime of rewards, right? So what does the average person think? This is where the context comes in. The average person thinks lifetime of rewards means they're going to pay me and I'm going to get value out of this. Well, it turns out that it was a lifetime of whitelist access to buy more things.
That's still a reward.
Right. That is. And that's what I'm saying. So you have to be careful how you interpret what they're saying, and you have to ask questions. I called Vera out on that the other day, and I got the answer. I said, what exactly does this statement mean? And I got the answer. So you've got to read past the marketing speak and get to the meat of the matter.
I believe I'm the one who told you about the marketing speak.
Yes, it took a while for it to sink in, though.
Remember, these guys have lawyers. They have an entire team of lawyers. Everything they say goes by their lawyers. So when they say you get a lifetime of rewards, yes, they could be lifetimes of thank you cards. That's a reward. Of NFT thank you cards. I mean, it's... Of course, you're thinking, wow, I'm going to get something big. Especially when Benefactor jumps on and says, you really don't want to miss this one because this lifetime rewards is fucking awesome. And then you get a little slip of paper. You know what, when I think of that is, have you ever sent a gift to anybody with Amazon and they say, check this checkbox to show that it's a gift? Have you ever checked that checkbox?
No, I haven't.
When you do, because I've done it, they get the package, they open it up. Nothing's wrapped. You'd think it would be wrapped or something. It's not wrapped. But instead, the receipt just has a little line on it. This gift is for you. Or this is a gift for you. That was it. It's just they get a receipt in the box and says this gift is for you. So that's kind of a bullshit thing. It's like I thought it was going to be gift wrap. No, gift wrapping is actually costs more money, and I don't think I've ever done that. But whenever you hear the word rewards, they can make it anything. They can be reward points. They can make up a new coin just for the rewards and then give you that. They can give you 10,000 of that.
So I don't think it's false advertising. And I've even gone to that line before on Faz Radio. And the more I think about it, and the more you educated me on the marketing speak, and I wish we would have recorded all those offline conversations because they're ridiculously valuable. You've got to remember that Gala's business is selling you things, so they're going to tell you whatever it is that gets you to buy that item. That's how they make money. They do have to provide something for that, right? And that's the crux of what I get to when I say I need to know what the price is up front and exactly what I'm getting on the back end in order to make a buying decision. So I know a Vox will be valuable to me to play in Voxverse, right? There's the utility. They've provided that answer. But there's no details around that answer. So does that mean that this Vox is going to earn more Vox coin than another one? Is this going to have more powers than another one? Am I going to be able to do special things with it? Can I fly with my Troll Vox? Do I have powers of invisibility with that? They're not going to tell me that, though, because they don't know at this point. They have no idea what that end piece is going to be. You have to trust them until that comes out. And that's where the disconnect happens. And I think that's where the disconnect on where people get so butthurt with Gala, because they sell this stuff and then they have to figure out how to put it in. I put a comment in one of the channels there, and I mentioned it on the last cast we did. I think they're doing it backwards, right? They're figuring things out on the back end, and that's hurting their sales. If they would just come out and do it the other way and put out the game and then let players tell them what they'd be willing to spend money on to buff their Vox, they would make far more money. But they want to pre-fund these games instead. And I think that is the key to this play-to-earn gaming. I think not only will it bring in the traditional gamers who would be far more willing to warm up to something that's optional that will help them, rather than buying it up front and then working with it that way. If they would do it the opposite way, it's a longer burn for them, right? They would collect money on the back end of the game instead of the front end of the game. But that was my whole point. The community members, the VCs, we are the VCs, as you always say. We're the VCs for Gala. We funded them very, very well. Extraordinarily well over the last 2 years. They should, at this point, have enough money in their war chest to be able to float that into turning this into the economy that should be done. They shouldn't be doing like what they're doing with spider tanks right now is driving me absolutely batshit crazy. They're worried about coming up with an economy and a play to earn and this ridiculously complicated formula for how someone gets a damn spider token. Silk, I think it is, right? Do you know, can you explain to me how the hell you get a silk token? It would take you 20 minutes to explain how to get one goddamn silk token. Instead, put the game out, let people play it, and let them upgrade. Let them figure it out. They'll tell you, hey, yeah, I'll pay $50 for something that'll get me 5 silk or whatever the case may be. Work it that way. I think there'd be a lot more success that way.
So yeah, that's an interesting one there, because I was talking with Doc today, or was it yesterday, about spider tanks. And I was talking about the fact that I was trying to make the point that spider tanks has been deliberately confusing, I think, with their stuff. You have the tanks, you have the pods, you have the maps, you have the nodes, and people are acting like they need every one of those. Oh, and then you have rentals. People are acting like they need every one of those to make any money whatsoever on spider tanks. Well, all you need is a spider tank, and you can make money. You're not going to make as much money as if you had the other things, like the nodes and the pods for rentals and stuff like that. But you can make money with each of those things, and people are complaining. They're like, I have to keep buying more and more spider tank things. Well, yeah, you have to if you want to completely optimize your earnings with it. But if you have only a little bit of money, you can buy a tank, and that's it. Make money on your tank. Um, I think they're by making it ridiculously complicated. There two things are going on. One, they want to make it to where it's deliberately hard and they can ease up if necessary. That's better than making it deliberately easy and making it hard later, because nobody likes it when you start giving out less money later. Then they start screaming at you and yelling at you. But if you make it extremely hard and then you ease up under certain circumstances, it might be easier to control the control the understanding of what's happening. Anyway, the other one is, I think I lost my frame of thought here.
Well, no, I totally get it. I saw your conversation there, and it's not an endless sale, right? So what it is because they're figuring out the economy first, they have to then figure out all the little parts they have to put together to make that work. Whereas if they just put the back end pieces out there and then figured out the economy based on what people are doing, I bet they would make twice as much money, quite literally. Because the players will tell them, like your idea, right? When we were on that dev call, you came up and said, oh, what if you had a switch thing where you switched guns with somebody for a certain amount of time or whatever? You then charge that you earn based on that. So people will tell you what they'll pay for. They will tell you. And you can literally then charge for it. And then you go, oh, to make this fun, because you have your subscription or whatever else, you're going to earn 5 silk tokens for that. How much easier is that than creating this ridiculously complex game economy and then trying to fit how to do fucking tanks and guns into that? That's like stupid. If you're talking, you're on mute.
I knew that. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. If you're gonna make something, see, the problem I'm having with the ridiculously complicated part is it's going to be so ridiculously complicated that they don't entirely understand what's going on. You're going to need a mathematician to figure out how things work, and what you're going to have is some other mathematician fan figure out how to hack the thing and grab 1 billion coins. He's going to be like, if I just go and run my tank into the wall over and over and over again, I'm going to get a fuckload of coins. And then they do. And then after about 3 weeks, they clean up, and then the spider tank people are ban the guy because he's made so much silk token. And it's like, dude, that's in the rules. So when you make it so ridiculously complicated, you don't know what you're doing. And then you start punishing people for finding ways around it. And my thought is, honestly, you want to use those complicated algorithms to encourage players to do certain things. I want you to have a complicated algorithm to say, okay, every time you triple shot someone, you kill them and then, you shoot them 3 times and they die. Every time you triple shot someone and they're dead, then you're going to earn more silk. Great. Well, that's going to encourage a behavior where people are going to act certain ways, are going to use certain weapons, and you can say you had a weapon or a group of weapons that could do that. Those weapons will sell more. And then the next week you could change it and you could say, okay, now whoever one and done, you shoot somebody once and they die, then you'll get more tokens. Well, then you can make a deal with one of your friends to where they butter them up, or they weaken them a lot, and then you just have a big gun that blows them away. So you can encourage certain types of gameplay with these complicated math things that they do. But I don't think they're doing that. I think they're making it so complicated because they want to be able to back it off at certain points. And I don't think they know where the weakness is in their algorithms. And it's gonna make it just as likely to get hacked as Townstar. Somebody's gonna figure out, wow, if I just equip this weapon, shoot somebody once, re-equip the weapon, shoot somebody once, that I'm gonna get just a shitload of money.
All right, so let me get into this part. So we did some work on proposals and creating this economy. Old Man Smithers is the bomb with this. He came up with a hell of a plan, but it is overly complicated, right? Very good. But here's the thing. I damage my tank, right? And I have to, I play with my spider tank, and I've played it with, we've done game night with it, right? So we go out and we get damage to this tank, and over time it degrades. And right, I go into my garage and I go to pull out my spider tank, and I'm at 61%. And I'm like, oh, well, I got to repair that before I want to use this tank on this map. I got to repair it. I can't figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to repair that. How do I earn the money to repair that? I have no idea because it's so goddamn complicated. Seriously. It is so complicated to figure out how to repair your tank. That's what the turnoff is. I don't want to have to think that much before playing a game. There are certain people and there's certain parts of certain games that you're going to want that level of detail. But not with spider tanks.
Well, okay, what's going to happen, honestly, and this happens with a lot of other games, is some games make things really hard. Once you start playing the game, it's so hard that people don't know what to do. And then so the game starts, they come out with a patch, and they start putting reminders up on the screen. Remember to go power this, remember to go charge up your tank, and it will even tell you in the beginning, and then click this box to make it go away. It's a typical tutorial kind of thing that happens with games. So I'm not too worried if you don't know how to fix your tank. If other people have the problem too, you're just going to see a reminder box after it being out for a few weeks.
You think they're going to do that? I don't think they're going to do that. And if they do, right?
Of course they are.
Okay, so they put a pop-up and it says, oh, your tank's at 61%. You need 5 wins in order to earn enough spider tank to repair your tank. What if I want to play spider tank so I can buy a new tank? Now I've got to grind 5 wins out with a damaged tank, and just to repair that one before I can go out and buy a new one.
You just came up with a improbable situation. I don't think you're going to have 5 wins with a damaged tank because you get blown up every 5 seconds in that game.
Yeah, I'm terrible. Yes,
but whatever the case is,
that's my point. If I can't play, all right.
That's called
balance.
I
want to play the game and have fun. I don't want to have to worry about winning and having the pressure of a win on me so I can repair my tank.
That's just called balance.
I want to make some money so that I can upgrade a tank in a reasonable amount of time. I do not expect to be able to go out and upgrade my tank every week. Right?
I get what you're saying. That's called game balance. Every game has this.
Yes.
They will have it too. So if it's too hard for you, it's most likely going to be too hard for a lot of people, and they're gonna hear a lot of complaints. They're gonna rebalance the game. That's just normal. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I just have a feeling that what you might be worried about is you might not be able to win as much money as other people, but you're just going to have to learn. Every game has a learning curve. I played 1 million games in my 50 years. And some of them are really, really stupid. But once you learn how things work, it's like, wow, this game's actually pretty cool.
Right. So I'm not here. All right. I am not here at Gala. I'm here learning gaming. Right. We've been through this 1 million times on Faz Radio. If I'm going to take the time to play a game, I'm not in it to like grab all the silk tokens, run out, cash it out, and go buy new computer rig or whatever. I'm here. If I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna invest in the game, and we know what I mean by invest. Put money into a game so that I can level up in the game and I can have more fun playing with more tanks and more weapons and get better at the game. I need to be able to have the ability to do that in a reasonable amount of time, or I'm not interested. I'm going to move on to the next game.
If you make money off of a game, you're not going to give a shit what they're doing in the game because you can get good at it and you can win more. If you don't make enough money and you don't like the game, you won't stay long. So it'll just depend. The more fun they make the game, the more rewarded they will be by your presence, because you'll feel like you can make money. It's that alone is its own kind of balance, and they're going to have to figure that part out. This is a brave new world with pay to earn and stuff like that, and there's no guarantees. The concept is a neat concept, but really we other than Axie Infinity and Townstar, we really haven't seen it take off too much. But this is just the start. Companies will adapt, and the games will get better and more targeted.
Cool.
And
Are you about talked out? I'm kind of talked out.
I'm kind of talked out. So, going on for about an hour. People getting tired. It's late. It's probably even later.
Absolutely. And hey, Magipto, T3R0, and Crypto Talk, thank you for hanging with us, participating. Rich Game. Yeah,
And Rich Game.
I did hear about that, but we don't have time to get into that tonight. I'll tell you what, though. Tonight's conversation was good. I'm glad we're back to our Friday night. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad your procedure went fantastic. I'm excited to see how all this new stuff plays out with Gala Games. I'm excited to get back into the DAO talk, too. We're starting that up again next Thursday, right?
Yes, we are. We were going to do it yesterday, but I had to call it off due to my procedure. And also, while you were blabbing away, I sent 2 zip bugs to Herr Stollenbred.
Hey, nice. Very cool.
All
right, man. You have a good rest of your evening. And CryptoFaz listeners, you have a great week. We will probably be doing some shorts this week. And if nothing else, if we end up with life getting in the way, we'll see you Thursday for the Tao of the DAO and Friday for new Faz Radio.